Alabama, the website donsiegelman.org. And Governor, welcome back to our program.
Oh, thanks, Tom. I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you for joining us. What's the latest on this case of yours where Karl Rove and his buddies, went after you with this frivolous prosecution and actually got a judge to throw you in jail?
Well, the most interesting thing that happened at the convention, Karl Rove just came up to my daughter and wagged his finger in her face and said, "Tell your dad not to use my name for fundraising anymore."
Seriously?
Just a few minutes ago. We missed it on camera, but anyway, it sounded like he was saying, "Okay, now we've sent your dad to jail, so that ought to be a warning to him." But, this whole prosecution, as you well know, started out as a political dirty trick by Karl Rove to do damage to me before my 2002 re-election campaign.
Right.
And then because the prosecutor's husband was working for my political opponent, it grew legs of its own because they had a vested interest in seeing that I was not only prosecuted but that I was convicted. We have, of course, all of the evidence points to Karl Rove and a Jack Abramoff conspiracy, and we may or may not want to get into that. But the latest, of course, is I'm about to go back to prison. I'm going back to prison in 6 days for something that has never been considered a crime in America. In fact, I have the distinction of being the first person ever sent to prison for raising money for an issue advocacy campaign, in this case to send kids to college for free, where there was no self-enrichment scheme. There was nothing
in it for you.
No, nothing in it for me. The government never argued that. So I have now been convicted and sentenced by a judge with whom I've had a political battle for the last 10 years, and going to prison for 6.5 years unless President Obama will issue a pardon or a commutation. So I'm here today and the last couple of days and tomorrow to see some of my friends and remind them that while Karl Rove sent me to prison, it's their job to get me out.
Well, and I should read the liner that I read every day twice as we go into our newscast with Talk Radio News Service and as we come out of the newscast, which reads, "This Talk Radio News Service report is brought to you by the efforts to free America's newest political prisoner, former Alabama Governor Don Siegelman. Sign the petition asking President Obama to pardon Don Siegelman at change.org."
Well, there are two ways to get to it. One is donsiegelman.org.
Okay.
And that takes it directly to my website. And then change.org/pardon Don will get the petitioners to the right spot to sign.
Okay, I will update what we're reading to our viewers and listeners every day then to be to donsiegelman.org and change.org what was that again? Pardon Don?
Yeah, change.org/pardon Don.
Okay, you got it.
But this, Tom, this case, as we have said, you and I have discussed for over 4 years now, is bigger than just me. It's not about, yes, it is about my freedom now. Of course, I don't want to go to prison, and I want to get out as soon as possible. But, two things need to be underscored in this petition to the president. One is that the Justice Department was used as a political weapon. We've got to get to the truth. And secondly, this kind of abuse of justice should not be allowed to continue. So Congress and the courts have to take some action to straighten out the laws. But we've also got to have a justice system that really seeks justice and not just prosecutions for the sake of convictions.
Yeah, there's a new book out called Boss Rove. I interviewed the author of it a couple of days ago. It's coming out this week, actually. And there's a whole chapter in it about you and your case, and it's actually one of the better articulations of what happened that I've read. So just FYI for our viewers and our listeners, but it's all over at donsiegelman.org. You can check it out. And Governor Siegelman, how goes it in your efforts?
Well, of course, I'm here among friends at the Democratic National Convention, and it's been amazing. I have run into some of my former colleagues who have been and are governors, and people, members of Congress, and others who have been part of the Democratic Party for a long time. And I don't have to say a thing. They shake their head with understanding and disgust with the injustice, and pledge their help and support. So just my presence here has been enough, without my trying to interrupt the flow of the convention. After all, these delegates are here for one reason, and that's to re-elect President Obama, and I would be the last person to try to interfere with that or
Sure.
confuse the message. So,
Yeah.
But I've been blessed by the support here.
Yeah, well, and it's a fine thing. You are, in my opinion, America's newest political prisoner. You want to summarize real quickly? We've got about 4 minutes here. How you came to be a political prisoner?
Well, I think that I got on Karl Rove's radar screen years ago. I've been doing battle with him since 1994, but when I was elected governor, I defeated an incumbent Republican. There was a confluence of issues then, because Abramoff was also working against me in 1998, and was working against the education lottery that I was proposing to send kids to college for free. And he also pumped money in with Ralph Reed and Grover Norquist to defeat me in 2002. It was Karl Rove's partner and Jack Abramoff's employee who claimed credit for stealing my election in 2002. The reason why that election was important to them, I think, simply was that I was being touted as a possible dark horse candidate for the Democratic nomination in 2004, and I had to win my re-election campaign. Even though they went to great lengths to tarnish my reputation before 2003, I won the election anyway. So that forced them into Plan B, which was to steal the election, which they did after the lights went out in the South Alabama courthouse, Republican courthouse. They recapitulated the votes and took 5,000 of my votes, gave it to my opponent, declared him the winner. The person who stopped my recount, which would have proven that I would have won, that I did win the election, was Karl Rove's partner, the Attorney General, Karl Rove's client, the Attorney General of Alabama, who also participated in the illegal certification of the votes the next day. It was Karl Rove's client who was then rewarded with a seat on the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals.
Wow.
So the story goes on, but at the heart of it, was politics. As Grant Woods, who is a former Republican Attorney General from Arizona, said, Don Siegelman was a Democrat they couldn't beat, so they targeted him with this prosecution.
Yeah. The fellow who wrote this book, Boss Rove, I'm forgetting his name right at the moment, but when on the air, he said that they started looking at all the prosecutions done by the federal prosecutors during the Bush years when Karl Rove was running the White House. And it was something like 3-1 that they were prosecuting Democrats over Republicans. And he considered those to be mostly political prosecutions. Yours, of course, was the most obvious and the most egregious.
Well, I think, I certainly have not been the only person. And unless there is some effort to underscore the injustice in this case, and unless there's some effort to depoliticize the Department of Justice, then these kinds of prosecutions are more likely to happen in the future under this ruling. I was not convicted on the basis of an express agreement. I was not convicted of bribery under an explicit agreement. I was not convicted of bribery under an asserted agreement. I was convicted of bribery under an implied agreement. So the judge allowed the jury to imply from the evidence that there was an agreement instead of proving that there really was an agreement. So, that's where we find ourselves now, and that's why attorney generals, law professors, and even George Will has spoken out in favor of the Supreme Court reviewing this case and straightening out and clarifying this law.
Yeah, and this is such an injustice. So if you would like to sign the petition to ask President Obama to pardon Don Siegelman, and this is an important issue, go to donsiegelman.org, I before E, Don, SIEGELMAN.org, and that there's a link from there to change.org/pardondon, where you can encourage the president. It hits a certain threshold and it actually goes to the White House. Encourage the president to consider a pardon for Governor Siegelman. Governor, thank you so much for being with us today.
Tom, thank you very much.
And keep up the good work. Say hi to Dana for me.
I'll do it.
And I wish you the very best, sir.